Whispers in the stars. The Galactic Council chamber floated in silence above the twin suns of Veyron. 27 alien civilizations had gathered, their leaders sitting in tall, hovering thrones. The hall was enormous, walls glowing with silver, light, but the air was heavy with pride and arrogance. For centuries, these empires ruled the stars, and in their eyes, humans were nothing more than a small, broken race from a dying planet. The Granzor lords, tall reptilian beings with golden scales, hissed in laughter as they spoke. The humans still struggle to breathe their poisoned air, one of them sneered. How can they ever build anything powerful? They are weak, they are finished. The Tervoxian Prime, a creature with 3 mouths and 6 eyes, rolled its tongues. I heard Earth cannot even feed its own people, it said, chuckling. Their oceans rise, their forests burn, their cities rot. Soon they will beg us for scraps. Laughter echoed in the chamber. No one defended Earth. No one cared. Humanity had no allies, no strong fleets, no empire. To the galaxy, Earth was only a shadow of what it once hoped to be. But outside the grand hall, beyond the pride of the council, whispers had begun to spread. Strange signals were detected near the solar system. Hidden transmissions pulsed across space, too encrypted for even the best alien minds to decode. At first, the signals were ignored. Then, rumors started. Rumors of construction. Rumors of something large. In a dim control room on the council's edge, a group of young alien officers whispered among themselves. One of them, a pale-skinned Uran, leaned closer to the screen. Look here, he said. This probe passed by Earth's orbit 2 weeks ago. Look at the shadows near the planet. The others leaned in. At first, it looked like nothing. Only stars and black space. But then, one officer zoomed in. There, half hidden in darkness, was a massive shape. Long, sharp, and unnatural. It stretched across the screen like a shadow of a mountain floating in the void. That cannot be natural, the Uran whispered. It looks like... Another officer hesitated. It looks like a ship. The room fell silent. For a moment, no one breathed. Back on Earth, the skies were quiet. Ordinary people lived their lives repairing broken cities, struggling with old scars of war and climate. But above their heads, in low orbit, something enormous was being built. Piece by piece, humans worked in silence away from alien eyes. Engineers floated in suits welding gigantic plates of dark metal. Machines hummed as engines larger than skyscrapers were set into place. The project had no name, no records. Only those sworn to secrecy worked there, guided by a single purpose: survival. The galaxy believed Earth was dying, but humanity was preparing. In the council chamber, the whispers finally reached the rulers. Reports began to appear. A fleet of alien merchants claimed they saw strange energy spikes near Earth's orbit. Another report said an asteroid had been mined out completely in record time, its resources vanishing into unknown hands. The Granzor lords scoffed. They build nothing. They cannot even keep their own satellites in orbit. But not everyone was so sure. The elder of the Veeri, a species known for their wisdom, leaned forward in his throne. His voice was slow and deep. You laugh too quickly. Humans are strange. When we think they are finished, they always return stronger. Do not forget the battles of the past. They fight hardest when their backs are against the wall. The hall grew quiet for a moment. No one wanted to remember the stories. Humans had been underestimated before, and every time, the cost had been heavy. Still, the council dismissed the warnings. To them, Earth was too small, too weak, too broken. But the whispers did not stop. In the outer colonies, smugglers spoke of new trade routes being closed near Earth. Explorers swore they saw glowing engines in the distance, larger than any they had ever known. In the darkness of space, something was growing. On a remote alien world, a spy prepared his report. He had slipped into Earth's orbit, closer than anyone before him. His ship trembled as he recorded what he saw. He stared in disbelief, unable to believe his own eyes. A shadow filled his screen, a structure so large it blocked the stars behind it. It was not finished, but even half-built, it was terrifying. Its hull glowed with raw power. Its design was unlike anything in the galaxy, angular, sharp, and deadly. The spy whispered into his recorder, "It is a warship, a planet killer, and it belongs to Earth." He pressed send. But before his message could travel far, his ship's alarm screamed. A beam of light sharp as a blade cut across the void. His vessel cracked in half, silent fire exploding into the dark. The message never reached the council, but the whispers grew louder, and across the galaxy, fear began to spread. Fear in the council, the Galactic Council chamber, once filled with laughter, was now uneasy. The alien leaders who mocked Earth only weeks ago now spoke in low whispers. Rumors had grown too loud to ignore. Entire fleets reported vanishing near the solar system. Merchant ships claimed they saw shadows larger than mountains floating in the void. No one could prove it, but everyone feared the same thing. The Tervoxian Prime pounded his many fists on the throne. His 6 eyes glowed with anger. Enough of these lies. Humans cannot build such things. It is only gossip spread by smugglers. But even as he spoke, a messenger drone entered the chamber. It projected an image in the air. The hall gasped. Blurry recording showed a half-completed structure in orbit above Earth. Its size was unimaginable, longer than 1,000 alien warships lined together. Engines glowed faintly. Weapons towers rose like mountains, and its shadow blocked the stars. "It cannot be," the Granzor Lord hissed, his golden scales trembling. The elder Vayari, calm as always, leaned forward. His voice was quiet, but carried across the hall. "It is no lie. It is real. The humans are building a planet killer." Silence fell like a hammer. For centuries, planet killers were only myths, ancient weapons from forgotten times. No empire had dared to build one. To create such a ship was to declare war against the entire galaxy. And yet, Earth had done. Panic spread. The council erupted in shouts. Some called for war, destroy the humans before the ship was complete. Others demanded caution, afraid the warship might already be too powerful. One alien, the sleek and silver-skinned Vryn, raised his voice above the noise. "We must send spies. We must know the truth. If the humans are weak, we crush them now. If they are strong, we must be ready to beg." The council agreed. Within days, a fleet of cloaked ships moved silently toward Earth. Hidden in shadows, the spies slipped past the outer patrols and crept into the solar system. They saw the truth. They saw the warship. The sight made their blood freeze. It was not only massive, it was alive with power. Entire continents of steel stretched across the void. Human workers moved like ants along its surface, welding, shaping, finishing. The ship's core glowed with energy so bright it could blind sensors. One spy whispered into his recorder, "If this ship fires, it will erase worlds. Not cities, not fleets, whole worlds." But then, one by one, the spy ships vanished. Silent. Flashes cut through the darkness and nothing was left. No wreckage, no signals, only silence. The reports never returned. Back in the council, fear grew heavier. Leaders who once mocked humanity now whispered in corners. Merchants raised prices, refusing to send ships near human space. Small empires moved their fleets away from Sol, afraid to be caught in the storm. The Tervoxian Prime tried to sound strong. "We must attack now, before it is too late." But his voice shook. The Vayari elder shook his head. "Attack? Do you not see? The humans already control fear. If we strike and fail, the galaxy is doomed. If we wait, perhaps they will show mercy." The chamber fell silent again. Mercy. That word sounded strange when connected to humans. Then, everything changed. Across the galaxy, every screen, every comm system, every starship received a signal at once. Static filled the air, then a human voice spoke. Calm, steady, unshaken. "You should have left us alone." Only 7 words. But they echoed across the stars. The message ended. No threats, no demands, just those words. The council chamber turned cold. Leaders who ruled empires for centuries felt a shiver they had never known before. "What do they mean?" asked a trembling governor. The Vayari elder closed his eyes. "It means the warship is finished, and they are no longer hiding." Far away in the black void above Earth, the warship's engines ignited for the first time it was awake. The warship awakens. The solar system had become the center of fear. Every telescope, every listening post, every spy satellite in the galaxy was turned toward Earth. From the outer colonies to the richest empires, everyone waited for news. No one slept peacefully. The warship had remained silent for weeks, floating above Earth like a dark mountain. Its hull reflected no light, its engines cold. Some began to hope it was unfinished, maybe even abandoned. Others prayed it would never awaken. But then one night the silence broke. Alien scouts hiding near Saturn's rings felt the first tremor. Their sensors spiked with energy readings beyond anything recorded in galactic history. A low hum spread through the void, shaking their ships like an earthquake. Then they saw it. The warship's engines roared to life. Blue fire erupted, stretching for miles, turning darkness into day. The massive vessel shifted, moving with unnatural grace for something so large. It was awake. Across the galaxy, the news spread like wildfire. Civilizations panicked, armies prepared fleets, merchants closed trade routes. Even the council fell into chaos, their leaders screaming at each other. The Granzor lords demanded immediate attack. "If we strike now, perhaps we still have a chance," they roared, but no one moved. Deep down, every empire knew an attack on Earth now would be suicide. Back in Sol, alien fleets had already gathered at the border. Hundreds of ships from smaller empires hovered nervously, their weapons armed, their commanders praying they wouldn't be the first target. The warship ignored them. It drifted forward past the orbit of Mars, heading into open space. The stars reflected off its armor, black steel laced with glowing red veins of energy. Towers of weapons rose along its surface, some so large they could pierce moons. Then came the voice. A transmission cut through every channel. A human commander appeared on screen, face calm, eyes cold. "This is Earth's warning," he said. "We will not be hunted. We will not be broken. And we will never kneel again." The fleets trembled, but some still thought it was bluff. Coalition of alien warships led by the arrogant Tervoxians moved forward. Over 200 ships aligned, forming a wall of steel. Their commander broadcast his reply. "Your warship is nothing. We will show the galaxy you are still weak." The humans gave no answer. The alien fleet opened fire. Thousands of beams cut through the void. Missiles streaked across space. Explosions lit the darkness. For minutes, the sky burned with weapons, fire. But when the smoke cleared, the warship remained untouched. Its shields glowed faintly, then faded, as if brushing away dust. Panic swept through the alien fleet. Before they could retreat, the warship moved. A single cannon, larger than any ever seen, rotated into place. Energy gathered at its core, blinding sensors, burning eyes. Then it fired. A beam of white fire shot across the void, faster than thought. It hit the nearest alien ship and continued through the line, cutting through 20 vessels in a single shot. The ships exploded in silence, their wreckage scattering into the rings of Saturn. The galaxy froze. The Tervoxian commander screamed for retreat, but it was too late. Another weapon fired, this time erasing an entire battle group with one strike. Dozens of ships vanished in blinding light. Within minutes, what had been a proud fleet of 200 ships was gone. Only burning wreckage remained. The warship did not chase the survivors. It only drifted forward as if to say, "This is what we can do. Remember it." Far away in the council chamber, fear turned to terror. Leaders who once mocked Earth now shook with trembling voices. "If they turn this weapon against us, no empire will survive." The Vayari elder spoke again, calm but grim. "The humans have spoken. They do not want war. But if we force them, they will end us all." For the first time in centuries, the council chamber was silent. No laughter, no arrogance, only fear. And yet, outside those walls, rebellions began. Smaller races who had long been slaves under greater empires saw the warship as a symbol of hope. If humans could stand, maybe they too could rise. The galaxy was no longer the same. And in the darkness of space, the warship continued its journey, engines burning brighter, its next destination unknown. But everyone knew one thing. Wherever it went, civilizations would tremble. The galaxy had mocked Earth. Now it bowed in fear. Civilizations begged for mercy. The destruction of the Tervoxian fleet spread across the galaxy like fire racing through dry grass. One moment, the Council had mocked Earth. The next moment, 200 warships were gone, erased as if they were nothing. World after world received the recordings. Millions of alien citizens watched in horror as the human warship fired, a single blast cutting through entire lines of ships. For centuries, empires had taught their people that humans were weak, fragile, a dying race clinging to a broken planet. Now that lie was shattered. In the great capitals of the galaxy, panic took hold. On the planet of Zir, streets once filled with celebration now echoed with fear. Merchants closed shops, governments broadcast emergency messages, and families huddled together whispering, "What if the humans come here next?" In the chambers of the Granzor lords, arrogance turned to desperation. Their golden scales dulled as they argued. "We must send tribute to Earth," one said, "and offer them resources, weapons, anything, just to keep them away." Another slammed his claw against the table. "Tribute? We are rulers of stars. We do not bow to humans." But his voice cracked. He remembered the burning wreckage of Saturn's rings. He remembered the light that swallowed fleets whole. Even the Tervoxians, proud and furious, broke apart in chaos. Their prime was dead, his fleet erased. Survivors whispered of the human cannon, a weapon like the breath of gods. The empire fractured overnight, governors refusing orders, soldiers deserting, colonies declaring independence. Earth had not just destroyed ships. It had destroyed fear of the empires themselves. Back in the council chamber, the atmosphere was worse than war. Leaders who once shouted now spoke in trembling whispers. 1,000 plans filled the air, peace treaties, alliances, betrayals, but no one knew what would work. The Vaeri elder raised his hand for silence. His eyes were heavy, his voice slow. "Do you not see? The humans do not speak of conquest. They could have destroyed the survivors, but they did not. They are showing restraint. They want respect. Nothing more." Some agreed. Others shook their heads. The sleek Vryn, always cunning, narrowed his eyes. "Restraint? Or strategy? They may be waiting for us to kneel before they strike. What if this is only the beginning of their war?" The chamber shivered with dread. No one had an answer. Then came a shock. Another transmission spread across the galaxy. The warship appeared again on every screen, its black hull glowing with fire. A single human voice spoke. "Leave Earth in peace. Harm us again, and we will answer. No demands, no threats of invasion. Only that." The message ignited confusion. To some, it was mercy. To others, it was terror. Because what kind of power needs nothing in return? Civilizations began to act in desperation. Some sent envoys racing toward Earth, carrying gifts of rare metals, technology, even offers of alliance. Others fell into silence, hiding their fleets, praying the humans would forget them. But not everyone chose peace. In the shadows of the galaxy, 3 great empires gathered in secret. Broken pride burned hotter than fear. They had ruled the stars for centuries, never kneeling, never bowing. To submit to Earth was unthinkable. The Klyros Dominion, the Jari Swarm, and the fractured Tervoxian remnants swore an oath. They would not beg. They would not kneel. They would strike together, unleash every weapon they had, and crush the humans before their warship became unstoppable. In hidden shipyards, fleets assembled. Old doomsday weapons, banned for centuries, were unearthed. and armed. Generals whispered of assassins, of poisons, of plans to shatter Earth from within. But even as they plotted, something else stirred. The warship moved again. Slowly, silently, it left Earth's orbit and drifted into open space. Civilizations tracked its every step, wondering, where will it go next? Then the answer came. It set course not for empty space, not for a minor world, but for the capital planet of the Jari swarm, the very empire that had enslaved countless human colonies. Centuries ago, the Council fell into chaos. The galaxy held its breath. Would Earth destroy the Jari homeworld? Would the warship unleash its cannon on an entire civilization? Or would humanity stop at the edge, showing power without destruction? Every screen, every sensor, every voice in the galaxy watched and waited. The warship drew closer. The Jari leaders panicked, sending desperate messages of peace, surrender, and mercy. Their mighty fleet surrounded their world, trembling but ready to die. Citizens prayed in terror, some kneeling in the streets, others trying to flee into the void. But the warship did not fire. It simply hovered above the Jari capital, its weapons glowing, its engines burning like suns. For 3 days it waited. On the 4th, the Jari emperor fell to his knees before his people, broadcasting his surrender to the galaxy. "We will never harm humans again," he declared. The warship turned away. It had not fired a single shot, yet its message was louder than any cannon. For the first time in history, entire civilizations begged for mercy. And for the first time, the galaxy saw Earth not as prey, not as weak, but as something far more dangerous. Humans who could win without even striking. The galaxy falls silent. The galaxy had never been this quiet. Entire star systems that once rang with trade, laughter, and war drums now lived in fearful silence. No one dared speak too loudly. No one dared move against Earth. The Jari emperors' surrender had broken the balance of power. For centuries, the Jari swarm had ruled through fear, enslaving weaker races, controlling entire trade routes. And yet, the humans had ended their dominance without a single strike. The image of the emperor on his knees spread across the stars like wildfire. Every ruler saw it. Every citizen whispered it. Earth had done the impossible. But in the shadows, not everyone accepted peace. The alliance of the Klyros Dominion, the Jari war remnants, and the broken Tervoxians completed their secret plan. They had no choice, or so they told themselves. To live in a galaxy ruled by fear of humans was worse than death. From hidden stations they launched their final weapon, a swarm of self-replicating drones designed to devour entire planets. Cold, sharp machines spread through the void like locusts, heading straight for Earth. Their programming was simple: consume, multiply, erase. When the Council learned of this, panic erupted. Even the Granzor lords who once mocked humanity trembled. If the drones succeeded, Earth would fall. But if Earth's warship destroyed them, what new terror would it unleash? The galaxy held its breath. Far above Earth, the warship waited. Its sensors detected the drones long before they reached the solar system. Billions of machines swarmed forward, darkening the stars. They screamed across comm channels, a chorus of metal voices. Consume, multiply, erase. Inside the warship, human commanders remained calm. Their voices were steady, their faces unshaken. "Prepare the main cannon," the admiral ordered. "Target all of them." Energy built at the heart of the ship. The hull glowed brighter and brighter, veins of red and white light spreading across its surface. The cannon roared alive, a sun captured in steel. Then it fired. The beam was not like before. It did not cut through ships or shatter fleets. This time it expanded like a wave of fire, stretching across millions of kilometers. The swarm screamed as it burned, machines melting into ash, their signal silenced. In one strike, billions of drones vanished. The stars returned. The galaxy had witnessed power beyond imagination. And yet, something even more shocking followed. The Human Admiral appeared on every screen across the galaxy. His voice was calm, steady, and unshaken. This is Earth's final message. We do not seek conquest. We do not seek your worlds. But if you bring war to our home, if you harm us again, this will be your fate, remember it. Then the transmission ended. The warship powered down its main cannon, engines dimming, weapons silent. It remained above Earth like a guardian. But it did not move. It did not invade. It did not demand tribute. The galaxy fell into silence. In the council chamber, leaders wept in relief. Some called it mercy. Others called it the greatest threat in history. But none could deny the truth. Earth had become untouchable. Civilizations across the stars changed overnight. Old empires weakened. Former slaves rose in rebellion, inspired by humanity's defiance. Trade shifted toward Earth, not out of greed but out of fear. Children of alien worlds whispered the same words. The humans are watching. For the first time in history, the galaxy united, not under the rule of empires, not through treaties or bloodshed, but through silent respect for Earth. On the dark bridge of the warship, the Admiral stood tall, watching the stars. His officers waited for his orders. But he only spoke one quiet sentence. Let them live in peace. The warship's lights dimmed, its engines slowed. For now it would remain in orbit, a silent reminder carved into the void, a reminder that humanity could be merciful, and a reminder that if pushed again, mercy would end. The galaxy bowed to Earth, not through choice, not through love, but through silence. The silence of fear, the silence of respect, the silence of survival, the silence of a galaxy that would never forget the day Earth unveiled its planet-killer warship.